Big man. How are
Stevie.
you? You alright? Well, Hendy, thanks very much for coming out to chat to me. We're here, pitch side. This is where it's all going to happen on Friday night against the Dragons. How's pre-season been? Tough, but good fun as well?
Yeah, good. Tough, you know the way the S&Cs like to put you through the paces. But no, it's been great. We've got a load of rugby content in. We've been working loads with Mark with the attack and Willie on the D as well. Really exciting, load of new faces. So look, it's been incredibly fresh.
Is it all about sort of fine-tuning in the week up leading up to a match? You just had your captain's practice earlier on today. Is it just like running a few line outs, making sure everybody's switched on for the match?
Yeah, look, obviously throughout pre-season we've been really trying to instill those like sort of key principles and with training over the last sort of like week or so, it's really just putting your plan into action and sort of making sure you've got those principles nailed down and whatever else special bits and pieces you have for the team of the weekend.
Super. Well, Hendy, we've moved into the changing room. This is where all the magic happens pre-match. It's good to be sitting here with the old number behind me, yours as well. Well, it's covered up with the new jersey. It's going to be a big Friday night, but we'll have to touch on last season just because of, I'm sure you weren't happy with the way the season ended. A couple of home results that didn't go your way. Have you talked about that? How big it is to win at home in front of the crowd that comes in week in, week out?
Yeah, definitely. But towards the back end of last season, we ended up 2-3 games to go. We were challenging for a knockout position. For us, that should have been put to bed earlier on the season. That should have been put to bed in the first block of games. In that Cardiff away game, in a handful of other games that didn't go our way. So we understand that huge importance that you put yourselves under so much stress at the back end of the season. You'll remember this from when you were playing. That back end of the season can be some of the most enjoyable weeks of the year, or it can be some of the worst. Yeah. And that's where we need to realise that when we do the hard work, when we get knuckled down earlier on the season, get those points in the bag, you're fixing it for your future self, if you like. And that's something that we've talked about a lot, and making sure that we don't leave in and out in the pitch. We want to be going after every game to the 80th minute and beyond.
It seems like the squad has freshened up slightly. A number of players have left. Some fans not happy with that. Some others thought it was good to bring in some new life, like John Cooney, Treadwell, Big Alan O'Connor, which has also brought in like Jordan Augustus, Angus Bell, some experience, some quality. How have they fitted in? Obviously Angus isn't here at the minute.
Yeah, look, it's been good. We've had a couple of young guys as well coming in who've really put their hand up. You know yourself from back in the day whenever Ruan was leaving or other players were leaving, there's always a bit of upset, but then Cooney came in and Ruan leaving opened the spot up for someone else to do really well in that position. So with a lot of those older guys leaving, I've seen a lot of the young guys here really like growing into that space, really being able to put their hand up throughout pre-season and say, look, I'm becoming ready to be able to step in and be that next really good player. So there's, in the forwards specifically, there's a few young guys who've come out of the academy who are looking really sharp in that position. And again, Joarno coming back in has been training like an absolute beast over the last few weeks.
How do you pronounce it?
Joarno.
That's all right, that's all right.
That's my understanding.
I need that from a commentary notes. But do you think, Hendy, is this a season-defining year for you, but also for the likes of James Hume winning his 100th cap this week, Mikey Lowry who's been around, Big Stuart McCluskey who's been wearing the Ulster jersey week in, week out for feels like years and years, and a few others as well. Everybody need to step up to the plate this season and make sure that you're in the hunt at the end of the season instead of having that added pressure.
Yeah, well, I suppose one thing, the way it feels for me, like when I look back throughout my career, I can see how different teams have felt different when I look back and look at them, and this season it feels different to last season. It feels fresh. It feels like.
Well, why is that?
There's been a lot of changes. We've had new coaching staff come in. I know it may seem superficial, but we've a new shirt sponsor, we've a new stadium sponsor. Yeah. We've, as I said, new coaching staff, new players coming in. The young guys, like you talk about, I call them young guys, but Tom O'Toole turned 27 in the week there. James Hume's now 27. Michael Lowry, Nick Timoney's in his 30s. Yeah. These young guys, and being with them throughout the entire pre-season, I feel they want to grab the bull by the horns. They want to make this their club now, and with that space that's been created by the guys leaving, that's building an exciting feeling in the club that that I feel that there's a gap there for these young guys to fill that potential and really make this next season or 2 or 3 seasons really their own, and have one of those run of Ulster rugby like we've had in the early 2010s.
You know, it's all about momentum, and you know, Richie Murphy had that momentum when he first came into the job at Ulster Rugby after Dan McFarlane left, but that didn't really happen in large parts last year. But now he's got his full deck of coaching staff in, Mark Sexton's in. Just tell us briefly how those guys have gelled together.
Yeah, obviously the majority of those coaching guys had coached together at 20s. Mark's been great. He shares an eye for the game with his brother, and you can tell his detail is right on track. We have Willie's come in this year and full time into the role, and he's been able to really stamp his authority on what we're doing in defence throughout pre-season, which has been good. And he carries a lot of weight for the guys because they know how hard edge a player he was when he played. So look, both those guys alone have brought enough change to make all the players excited, and enough change that we're going into this first game really excited about what we can do, rather than worrying if this will be okay.
Last question, Hendy. Friday night lights, Belfast, here at the Fidias Stadium. What Ulster are we going to see this season?
We want to be exciting. We want to be fast. We want to be able to make fans want to talk about our players. We want to see some excitement.
Awesome. Thank you very much, big man. Appreciate your time.